Keeping accurate inventory information will help you keep food costs down, avoid spoilage and waste, and maximize the limited storage space of your food truck and commissary. The following information is for food truck owners who don't necessarily buy all their ingredients directly from their commissaries. If you're forced to purchase everything from a commissary, you can still use the information in this chapter, but you may not need to worry about things like frequency of shopping because you can just purchase small amounts directly from your commissary. First, we're going to make a spreadsheet for your master inventory list. You can use Excel, Google Sheets, numbers, or if you're not a fan of computers and smartphones, just write everything on a notepad.
New language. You will be taught to achieve insight into the world around you.
If you have a computer, you can download the inventory list spreadsheet in the resources section. Open it, and you'll see the following columns from left to right. Number 1, name. This refers to the ingredient or supply name. Write down the unit for each item as well, whether it's a bag, bottle, box, etc. Don't worry about making it perfect because you'll be making lots of edits later. Number 2, commissary. How much of the item is in your commissary? This will all start at 0. Number 3, truck. How much of the item is on your truck? This will all start at 0. Number 4, need. How much you need for that day. For now, just estimate how much you'll need at the end of each day. Number 5, buy. How much you need to buy. This will be a formula that subtracts the storage and truck amounts from the need amounts. If the result is a negative number, it'll show 0. You can see in the spreadsheet that there are 4 tabs at the bottom. I'm assuming we'll be shopping 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The first tab is the master inventory list with all the ingredients unsorted. Until you go shopping, you may not know how big a container of a certain ingredient is. So don't worry if you can't fill in the unit sizes for now. The remaining 3 tabs show the ingredients grouped by where we can buy them. You'll also see that all the rows are filled in with numbers. This is just to give you an idea of what the spreadsheet will look like once you start using it. For now, the only column you may be able to fill in is in the need column if you have a good idea of how much of each ingredient you'll need. But until you start operating, you won't know where you can buy what or how often you'll need to shop in the beginning. So don't worry about filling in all the numbers just yet. So let's say it's Monday and you just finished your lunch service. You drive back to your commissary and you account how many of each item you have in the commissary and input them into the commissary column on the Monday tab. So if we have 1 sleeve of bread, we input 1. Half a stick of butter, 0.5, and so on. Then you repeat the process on your truck and input them into the truck column. The formula for the buy column adds the storage and truck columns, subtracts it from the need column, and if you're short, it'll calculate how many units you need to buy, round it up to the nearest whole number, and highlight it in red. If you have more than the need amounts, the buy amount will show 0. You should never manually edit anything in the buy column. As you can see, the spreadsheet shows that we need to buy 2 sleeves of bread, 1 pound of beef, 1 dozen eggs, and 1 tomato. You'll need a car to do most of your inventory shopping because supermarkets and wholesale stores generally don't allow food trucks to park in their parking lots. Even if your commissary takes deliveries from wholesale suppliers, you won't be able to meet the minimum order amounts unless you are extremely lucky and you can get all your ingredients from one supplier. Once you have your shopping transportation figured out, it's time to find some places to shop. And this is in order from best to worst. Number 1, see if there are any restaurant supply stores in your area. New York City, for example, has Jetro and Restaurant Depot. They sell items individually and in bulk, and they have nearly everything you need to stock your food truck. They're free to join, but you'll need a valid resale certificate for your business. Number 2, wholesale stores like Costco, BJ's, and Sam's Club. They should have most of the ingredients and tools you need.
God, some of this stuff, you wonder who would ever need it in bulk. I mean, like watermelons. Touché.
Since they don't cater specifically to the food industry, expect prices to be slightly higher than at restaurant supply stores. Also, you'll need to pay for a membership. Number 3, local supermarkets. All supermarkets have a manager for each department, such as meats, seafood, produce, etc. Depending on the quantity you buy, you may be able to negotiate a discount. You can also see if paying with cash will give you a further discount. Supermarkets should cover most of your ingredient needs, but they probably won't have most of your cooking equipment needs. Number 4, for uncommon ingredients, typically spices, you may find bulk products on Amazon or other online shopping sites. The amount you buy of each item really depends on how much storage space you have. If you have very limited space, you can expect to go shopping nearly every day. Some truck owners even keep extra inventory in their car's back seat and trunk. So on your first few shopping trips, I suggest purchasing the minimum amount you need until you get better acquainted with your storage space limits. If you've already opened a business credit card, you'll have a choice to make whenever you go shopping.
Look me dead in the face, ask cash or credit, and I jizzed in my pants.
Should you pay cash or credit? Unless the place doesn't accept credit cards, I would always pay with card because you'll get some type of rewards points or miles every time you spend it. Plus, it helps build your credit score, assuming you aren't ever late with your payments. Also, it's just a pain to have to always carry around wads of cash, and for me personally, I hate getting coins and change.
This penny had your name on it, man. Yeah, I was about to throw this penny at you. He's about to throw a penny at you.
After you purchase your initial inventory and all your kitchen tools, which is covered in the next chapter, you'll most likely need to do some prep before you go out for your first service. Make sure you label everything you prep to avoid using old or spoiled ingredients. Expect a lot of food waste in the first few weeks as you learn how much you need for each day's service.
We served 100 customers, and we're carrying all this food until tomorrow, or the next day, or who knows?
You'll also be adjusting your inventory list pretty often. You may need to add another day of shopping, you may find a cheaper price for an ingredient at a different supplier, and so on. Going forward, remember to always include any prepped ingredients when you count your inventory. For example, if you have chopped up onions on the truck, you need to estimate how much of a whole onion that would be and input it under the truck column of the spreadsheet. Everyone's going to need to buy some initial inventory before their first day of service. So on the low end, I estimate around $500, on the high end, $1,000. So for our total, we have $43,975 on the low end and $141,725 on the high end.